So we're going to start on our backs today. So if you want to, you can put a blanket underneath your head. Or whatever you need. I know some of us need a little bit more than the other. I kind of noticed in watching some of these recordings that I actually do need a blanket. I see that when I don't have a blanket, my chin's kind of tilted up. So if you just get a blanket underneath your head, any blanket will work. And then right now we're just going to keep our knees bent and just place your knees toward each other. Just have them touch. And then lift up your tailbone. And you can even just take your hands here. Take your tailbone towards your heels to get a little bit more length in the low back. And you just place your hands on your hip bones. We're going to just connect with our breath here. So just start to follow your breath in and out. Just watch the breath as it comes in through the nose. Watch as you'll notice that the belly fills and the chest rises. And then as you exhale, you're going to draw the navel in toward the spine. And the belly kind of sinks in as we press out all that air, the stale air. And let's do that again. Big breath in. Feel the belly rise, the chest expand. And then as you exhale, draw the navel in. You can feel your abdominals activating here even. And then let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale. And this time we're going to inhale a little deeper to the count of 5. So let's take a big breath in. 2, 3, 4. Fill it up. 5. Hold it here at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release for 5. Hold at the bottom. And let's do that again. Inhale. Hold it. Gently exhale. Hold it at the bottom. And one more time through in. Big breath. Hold it here. Gently release. Hold it. And just let your breath flow. Now just take your legs out straight. Reach your arms overhead. Flex your toes towards your shins. Hook your thumbs together. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, press through your heels and reach through your fingertips. Inhale, let everything go. Exhale, switch the thumb grip and reach and press through the heels. Inhale, release. Switch the thumbs again. Exhale, press and reach. Inhale, switch one more time. Exhale, press and reach. Nice long full body stretch. And then release and bring your hands down onto your hips. And let's find your strap. So you have it handy or you just get up to get it, that's fine. So if you don't have a strap, you can always use just a scarf or a tie or like a belt from your bathrobe or just really anything that will work as a strap. All right, then we're going to take our left leg long We're going to take the strap around the right heel. And then we want the heel somewhat in line with the hip. We want more importantly, we want the leg straight. So you may need to take your leg out away from the hip. So toward the end of your mat. Flex your toes, flex both feet toward the shins. Now lift your chest. And we're just going to hold it here. Pull down on the strap and press into the strap. Draw the right thigh bone away from your head. And then take your low belly in and up. And we'll keep the chest lifted. Hold it here. Let's take 2 more breaths. Starting to wake up the legs. We're going to do a bit of core work today. All right, let's remove the strap and switch sides. So take that leg long, take the strap around the left heel. And one hand's on one side of the strap, the other's on the other. And the arms are straight. Then we want to lock the shoulders down. And again, flex both feet. Take the left thigh bone away from your head. And then we take the low belly toward our head. Lift the chest. Pull down on the strap. Press your foot into the strap. Keep pressing that left thigh bone away from your head. And then we'll switch again. The left leg will go long. We'll take the strap around the right heel. Now we take both of the ends of the strap into our left hand. And we're going to take our right thumb into our right hip crease. And we're going to take that right heel over in line with our left shoulder. Now we're taking our right thumb that's in our right hip crease. We're going to press it away. Just like we were trying to take that right thigh bone away. We're doing that. We're helping it now with a hand there. And then we're taking the low belly in and up. Keep the chest lifted. Go where you can go here. And then let's bring the leg back up and remove the strap. Take that leg long on your mat, and we're going to switch sides. Back over to the left. Both ends of the strap in the right hand, left thumb in your left hip crease. Lock that right shoulder down, and we'll take the left heel over in line with our right shoulder. Press the left thumb into your hip crease, press that left hip crease away. Keep the chest lifted. So some of you remember, especially at the tennis and racket club, we would use 2 straps, right? We would take another strap where our thumb is and hook it around the right foot. And then we'll bring the leg up and remove that. Again, now we're going back to the right, and this is where I need this. So you might want a blanket or a block, and we're going to put it underneath our right hip. I'm going to tuck it right underneath the hip. Both ends of the strap are going to come into our right hand this time. Left leg is long. We're taking our left hand onto our left hip bone. Flex both feet. Lock the right shoulder down. Now we're going to take a breath in. And as we exhale, lower your right leg out to the right. So the outer edge of your foot comes parallel to the floor, and we're holding that left hip down to keep it from popping up. Try to keep both hips on the mat, square. Lift the chest. So, even if it means picking up your shoulders a little bit to kind of draw them in toward each other, get the chest lifted. So we don't want our right toes pointing down. We just want the outer edge of your foot parallel to the floor. One more breath here, inhale. And on your exhale, use your core Bring the leg up. Remove the strap. Switch your support to the other side. And we're going to take it around the left heel. Right leg goes long. Straps are in your left hand. Right hand on your right hip bone. Lift your chest. Inhale. Exhale, we let the leg drop over to the left. And with control, that's why the strap is here. So we're controlling that. The outer edge of your foot comes parallel to the floor. Lift the belly. Lift the chest. Belly draws up and in. We're pressing through the right heel. Right pinky toe points straight up. Hold it here. Keep breathing. Inhale. And as you exhale, use your core strength. Bring the leg up and then remove your strap from the foot. Put the strap aside. You could put your blanket away, just over to the side. And then we're just going to bend our knees. So we're going to slide the right foot over to the right, take the right knee in toward our left foot. And then maybe take the left foot onto your right thigh. So you can kind of look up and see if your right knee is in line with your right shoulder to get that alignment. And we check in here. The right hip's probably popping way up. That's fine. That's good, actually. So you're feeling this. We're opening up the quadricep and the psoas, your hip flexor. If you want to add on, you can take your right arm overhead and then take a hold of your right wrist with your left thumb and forefinger. And just gently draw the right wrist up as you maybe drag your left heel down your right thigh. Chest stays lifted, even here. We still focus on the breath. And then we'll uncross. Bring both feet back on the floor. Hands can come down by your hips. And then we'll slide the left foot over. So the left knee drops in toward the right foot. And this might be up for you, or you can take your right foot onto your left thigh. And then we check our alignment. Is the left knee in line with the left shoulder? And then we'll lower back down. Chest stays lifted. If you want, left arm reaches up and then take a hold of your wrist with your right hand. Inhale and exhale. Nice deep breaths. And then check in here. Just check in. Notice how this all feels. If this is too intense, don't put your foot on your leg. You can always put a block or a blanket underneath your left knee. And then let's come out. So let's release, bring the feet back on the floor. And we're going to take the right knee over to the right and slide that right foot behind our left heel for external rotation. So check in here. This might feel fine and just stay right here. Or you can take your left heel in front of your right shin and let that left knee drop out. Or maybe you can take your left foot onto your right thigh and let that left knee drop out. Wherever, really what works best for your hips, you're going to feel this in your primarily the right hip, but we're also opening up the left hip when we add the left knee dropping out. And then you can add the upper attachment as well. So you can reach your arms up and overhead. Draw the little belly in and up, lift the chest. You need to hold on to opposite elbows. Even notice here what's going on. How does this feel in your hips, in your body? Stay here for one more deep breath. And carefully bring your legs up. You can bring your hands back onto your hips. Take a breath. And then we'll switch sides. So now the left knee will drop out, and we'll take the left foot behind our right heel. And you might want to just stay here and just focus on the left leg. Or again, you can take the right heel in front of your left shin, let the right knee drop out. And then maybe you can take your right foot onto your left thigh and let the right knee drop out. Arms can come overhead. Go where you can go here. We're all different. And our hips are different. Where maybe you could have gone a little deeper on one side, you may not be able to on the other. Just kind of check in and see how that feels. And then slowly uncross, bring your feet back on the floor. Place your knees so your feet are pointing up, and then you can hug your knees in, rock side to side. And we're going to roll over to one side and make our way onto our hands and knees. With your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Spread your fingers wide. Push down through the palms of your hands. And you can have your toes touching, your toenails touch, or if it feels better, you can turn your toes. Really, whatever feels more stable for you. So we're going to add on here, we're going to add some core work. So let's extend the left arm out in front. So right now the bicep is in line with our ear. We're just reaching through the left hand. Keep both knees where they are for right now. Press down through your right hand. Really engage the right arm, the tricep, the bicep. Breathe. It starts to really engage the abdominals. So you're going to feel that. If it becomes too much, you can put your hand back down for a breath or two. Now this is where you might want to turn your left toes under. We're going to extend the right leg out. So the toes can stay touching the floor, or you can lift your left leg parallel to the floor. Turn your right pinky toe toward the floor. So we want the internal rotation of the right leg. So now we're flexing that right foot toward our shin as we press through that right heel. And then reach through your left hand. So nice long line from the right heel through the left fingertips. And I'm sure you're feeling your core at this point engaging. And we're also working the back muscles, all the posturals. And let's take that hand and knee down. Take a breath. All right, we'll set up for the other side. Now the right arm's going to come out. We're going to hold it here. Keep both knees down for right now. Slowly. And breathe. Notice this is not that easy, right? Even with knees on the mat, our abdominals are firing. You can really feel the core engaging. So this is where the strength in the left arm is important. Now, you can stay here, take that left leg back. Toes can stay down, or you lift your heel. So your leg is parallel to the floor. Pinky toe points down toward the floor, and we're pressing through that left heel, reaching through the right fingertips. What's going on with your left arm? Engage the tricep, the bicep. Draw your navel in and up. And then we'll take that hand and knee down. And then take your tailbone towards your knees. Push the floor away from you. Look up at your belly button. And then we'll take the tailbone toward the sky. Let your belly drop toward the mat. Broaden across the collarbones. Maybe reach the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. We'll flow through that a couple times. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. One more time. Exhale, cat. Inhale, come back to cow. Now stay here, keep your tailbone tilted, turn your toes under, and we're gonna lift into downward facing dog with our heels high and our knees bent. So take our chest toward our thighs. Try to get the chest toward your thighs and then lift your tailbone a little bit higher. And then maybe you can straighten your legs, keeping the heels up. Breathe here. Look at your knees to keep the neck long. And then if you want, you can press through one heel, then the opposite knee. And switch. Press through the other heel, on the opposite knee. Pedal your feet a few times. Now look towards your hands and walk your feet towards your hands. Walk your hands towards your feet, coming into a forward bend. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. So you can stay here with your arms just dangling, which might feel really nice, or hold on to your opposite biceps. Let the crown of your head fall heavy. Keep your knees soft, especially if you're feeling this in the low back. Your hamstrings, feel it. You can go a little bit straighter in the legs. Just kind of find that place where it feels comfortable. I'm not really, this is just a nice releasing pose. So take one more deep breath in, and then a big loud exhale out. Take your hands on your hips and come all the way up. So we're going to do a few series of classic sun salutations. Lots of options in them, and there's lots of things you can take out. It's very modified, and so it's up to you what you want to do. And you're in your own home, so you can modify however you want. But I'll give you all the different options. So let's come into Tadasana. So our feet are hip distance. And we're going to root down through the soles of our feet as we draw the kneecaps up. And then we draw the thigh bones up, take the low belly up toward our chin. Lift the chest. We take the shoulders back and down. And rise up through the crown of our head. So feel this dynamic energy right now, rooting down through the soles of our feet as we rise up through the crown of our head. All right, then we're going to take a big inhale, reach our arms up toward the sky. And then as we exhale, we're going to take a swan dive forward. And then we're going to take a big step back with our right leg and place the right knee down onto the mat. Untuck your toes. Take your hands up onto your left thigh. We're going to take the tailbone toward our front heel. And if you want, you can reach your arms up and overhead. Low belly rises up towards your chin. Take the shoulders down away from your ears. So feel the right psoas, the right hip flexor start to open. We're taking the tailbone toward that front heel. You can always just leave your hands on your thigh as well. All right, we're going to come forward. Take the left knee back. So we're on our hands and knees right now. And then we're going to lower down, chest, chin, come down. And we're going to lift up to cobra. So take your right leg, pick up the toes, reach your toes back. Pick up your left leg, reach the toes back. Touch your toenails, all 10 of them on the mat. Arms are underneath your armpits, lift your heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades together for cobra. And then we're going to lower down, turn the toes under, come up onto all fours, and come into down dog. And we'll stay here for 3 breaths. So you can pedal your feet, maybe wiggle your hips. Spread your fingers wide. If down dog is not going to work for you today, stay on your hands and knees. All right, one more breath. And now we're going to look toward our right hand and take our right foot forward. And come back down onto the left knee. Untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the arms up. So what the right heel should be under the right knee, and the foot should be far enough forward that you're feeling a stretch here in your hip flexor. Arms can stay on your leg or they can reach up. Breathe here. Lift the chest. Shoulders back and down. One more breath. And then we're going to take our hands forward. Step your left foot to meet your right foot. Come into a forward bend. Exhale here. And then inhale, we'll rise all the way up. Hands come to our heart center. Take a breath here. All right, other side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Take your hands onto your shins. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Take your tailbone toward the back edge of your mat and the crown of your head toward the top edge of your mat. Exhale, we're going to step the left leg back this time. Untuck your toes. Inhale, arms come up if you'd like. Otherwise, stay here. Same thing. Tailbone presses toward the front heel. Low belly draws up toward the chin. So we're going through this a little slowly the first time through. We'll go a little bit more with our breath the next time. This is just to get us nice and open here. One more breath. Now we'll come forward. Take your right leg back. This time if you want, you can come into a full plank or you can come into a modified plank. Either way, we're going to lower down, chest and chin come down and lift up to cobra. Touching all 10 toenails onto the mat, lift your chest. Maybe you can even lift your hands. Squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other. Shake your head, no tension in the neck. And then we're gonna come back down, turn the toes under, lift up, down dog. 3 breaths. So do what feels good here. It feels good to pedal your feet, wiggle your hips, broaden across the shoulders, engage your triceps. We're gonna look up toward our hands and take the left foot up to the left hand. Untuck the toes. Reach the arms up for a lunge. Tailbone presses toward the front heel. Shoulders down. Lift the belly. One more breath like this. And then we're going to come forward, step the right foot up to meet the left. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, root down through the soles of your feet, come all the way up. And then take your hands to your heart, check in here. Even going through this kind of slow, your heart rate may have picked up. So just take a breath here. Come back to your breath. So now we're going to go a little bit more with our breath. We still will take some time through the down dogs. So let's take a breath in. Exhale, forward. Inhale, look up, half lift. Exhale, step back with your right leg. Now, if you want, you can keep your knee off the mat. You can come into a crescent lunge, or you can keep your knee down. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to step back to plank. Knees, chest, chin come down. And then come into cobra. Exhale, turn the toes under, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Catch your breath. Always welcome to take your knees down. Now, if you want to, you can take your right heel high, bend your knees, step your right foot to your right hand. Left knee can stay on or off the mat. We're going to come up crescent lunge. Exhale, forward. Step your left foot up to meet your right. The This time, let's take another inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward again. Inhale, rise up. And then we'll take your hands to our heart. Other side, inhale, reach. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, big step back with your left leg. Knee can stay on or off the mat. We're gonna inhale, rise up. Exhale, come forward. Step back to plank. Take a breath here. And then place your knees, chest, chin down. Come up to cobra. And then lower down, turn the toes under, lift the hips high, exhale here. Option to lift the left heel. And then we're gonna step the left foot to the left hand. Right knee can come down or stay off the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Step the right foot to meet the left. Come into that half lift again. For an inhale. Exhale, forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, one more time through. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, nice big half lift. Really take that tailbone back. And then as we exhale, right leg steps back into our lunge. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come forward, step back to plank. Knees on or off the mat, hold it here for one breath. And then as you exhale, knees, chest, chin come down. And we come into cobra. Elbows hug into the rib cage. Exhale, turn the toes under, lift up, down dog, hips come high. Stay here, catch your breath here. Inhale, right heel comes high. That's an option. Step your right foot up to your right hand. Left knee can come onto the mat, or you can keep the knee up. Inhale, reach. And then we're going to exhale, come forward, step the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward again. Inhale, rise. Take your hands to your heart center. One more time through. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left leg places back, left knee on the mat or not. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come forward. Step the right leg back into plank pose, modified or full plank. And then we lower down chaturanga. Knees, chest, chin come down. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lower, turn the toes under. We're going to make our way back to down dog. 3 breaths. Catch your breath here. Inhale, lift your left leg if you'd like, or just step your left foot to your left hand. You're going to come into your lunge, knee on or off the mat. And then we're going to come forward again. Take your hands to your foot, step the back foot up to meet the right, or the back foot up to meet the front. Come into your half lift. Inhale. Exhale. Forward bend. Inhale, root to rise all the way up. And then bring your hands to your heart. All right. So we don't do sun salutations every week. So it's kind of nice to do them every now and then. It does get the heart rate up. So you may feel a little warm here. It works, I like it because it works all of our, it's our hips, our legs working. All right, so we're gonna stay here in Tadasana. You can keep your hands at your heart for right now. Then we're going to sit back into an imaginary chair. So the butt goes back. And then we have a little bit of an arch in our low back. So we're going to take in the back rib cage toward the front rib cage. Keep the chest lifted. Take the low belly up towards your chest. And then you can reach your arms out in front, right in front of your shoulders. You can stay here, or maybe reach the arms in line with your ear. Lift the chest. So whatever feels good for your arms. It may feel better just to keep your hands at your heart center. Just gonna play around with it. Start working the core a little bit. We're working the hips, working the ankles, shoulders down away from our ears. And then come on up, take your hands to your heart center. Take a breath. So we're going to do that again. Feet are hip distance. If it feels better, you can bring them a little closer together. We're going to sit back into that chair. We're in an imaginary chair. We're going to take the low belly up. The tailbone kind of draws down, but the butt is, sticking out. So we're not taking our tailbone in toward the pelvis. We're taking that tailbone back. And we want a little bit of a curve back here. So take the back ribs toward the front. Arms extend out, or the arms can come in line with your ears. And then go ahead and just come to standing. All right, so let's take another breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, come back to that half lift. And then let's come onto our hands, take the legs back into down dog. But we're just gonna come back right onto our hands and knees. We're just making our way down here. Take your knees wide. We're gonna take our tailbone toward our heels. And you can always put a blanket between your calves and your thighs. And then extend your arms out and let your forehead rest on, if it's not resting on your mat, maybe you're gonna block underneath your forehead. Or a pillow will work. Breathe here. So with every breath, extend your arms out in front and press your tailbone a little closer to your heels. Now walk your hands over to the left, just as far as you can go. And then you can take your left hand on your right hand. You're feeling that big stretch through the right side. One more breath. Walk your hands back to center. And then over to the right. And then when you feel like you're as far as you're going to go, you can take your right hand onto your left. The left hip will pop up a little bit. You can come over towards your right heel. Just feel that nice side stretch. And then walk your hands back to center. Okay, so now come back to your hands and knees. And we're going to come down onto our forearms. Spread your fingers wide. Or if it feels better, you can always clasp your hands. Just whatever feels good for you. We're going to go into forearm plank. So this might be enough for you right here. With your forearms on the mat and your knees on the mat, draw your navel in and up. We're pushing the floor away from us, and you can engage your core right here. If you want to go a little bit farther, you can take your legs to the edge of your mat. We want to keep the tailbone low. So we're in one long line. Draw the navel in and up. Really press into your forearms. Draw the navel in and up. Feel the core working here. You might feel a little shaky. Although some of you did Shanna's class before this, so maybe your core is already nice and activated. Couple more breaths. Feel free to place your knees down at any time. And then go ahead, place your knees down, press back to child's. All right, so let's do that one more time. Come on forward, take your forearms onto your mat, spread your fingers wide, broaden across the collarbones. Draw your navel in and up, maybe stay right here. Or if you want to, you can go a little bit further. Take the feet back, keep your tailbone low. So either way, if your knees are on your mat, you're gonna feel it, or take the knees off the mat. Draw the navel up towards your chin. Spread the fingers wide. So we're doing all this. A strong core is really vital to keeping our back healthy. So every month or so, I try to bring in a core practice. All right, let's take the knees down, press back to child's again. And the core is not just our six-pack abs, right? It's the back, the front, the transverse, even the shoulders, our whole torso is what we're working. So let's go ahead, come on up onto your hands and knees and have a seat. So you're gonna kind of flip over. Again, you can have a blanket underneath your head. We're gonna lower back down. Okay. So do your best here. This might be a little bit challenging. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to start with our hands underneath, kind of just at the bottom of our tailbone. The top of our tailbone, just on the bottom of our low back. And we're going to hug the knees in. And then lift them up. Lift your chest. Take a breath in. And then we're going to take them out about 60 degrees. And just hold it here. Lift the chest. You can feel the abs start to work already. So do what you can do. The hands are here to support you. One more breath. Bring the knees in. Hold it here. Okay, we're going to do that again. Lift the heels. And you can take them right where you were, or maybe take them out a little bit farther, maybe about 40 degrees. A little bit more challenging if you take them out farther. I feel this. I don't do core work every week, so I definitely feel this. Breathe here. Your breathing will help you. If this is too much, bend your knees. Just do what you can do. It's all good. And then let's hug the knees in. You can even take your hands out, and if you want to hug them, and we got one more to do like this. All right, so hands can come back underneath your hips. We're going to take the heels back up. All right, so option, either one of what we just did, or maybe take your feet so they hover right over the floor or into your cat. Hold it here. So a little bit more shaky on this one, right? Breathe. I am definitely shaking here. This is not easy for me. Oh, yeah. Let's do one more breath if we can do it. And then hug your knees in. Rock back and forth. All right, well, we're going to do that again so I can torture myself. All right, but there's an option here. You can keep your hands where they were underneath your back. If that seemed easy for you, lucky you. I'm going to go for it, but I know it's not going to be easy. You can reach your arms overhead. So let's take the heels back up over our hips. And we'll start with the first one, just about 60 degrees. Hold it here. Arms overhead or back underneath your hips. After that last one, this feels a little bit easy. All right, hug the knees in. Adding on, arms overhead, heels come up. You can go right where we just were, or maybe take them down a little bit more. Reaching through the fingertips. If your arms are overhead, we still keep the chest lifted. One more breath if you can do it. Hang in there, and then hug it in. All right, last one. Arms overhead if you'd like, or underneath your hips. Heels come high. We're going to take a breath, lift the chest, exhale, lower, maybe just hover your feet over the mat. Hold it here. Press through your heels. Breathe. Nice deep breaths. Let's do one more. Reach. Oh, yeah. Hug your knees in. Just rock from side to side. Take a breath. All right, so now let's find our strap. Take the strap around both heels. We're just going to take the legs up and just kind of do a little back release. So just right now, I just kind of take the heels up, straps around your heels, draw the shoulders down. This is just a little bit of a breather here. Just releasing. Chest still stays lifted. And then, okay, release. And we'll hug it in. You can rock side to side. Okay. So roll over to one side and come into a seated position. And we're going to take the legs out in front. You can sit on a blanket or Dandasana. So the feet are extended out in front. Hands are just by our sides on our fingertips. Flex through the feet. Lift the chest. You can press your fingertips into your mat. Lift your chest. All right. So now we're going to do that again. But let's take our strap into your hands. We're going to sit up nice and tall, just like we did. We're taking our toes toward our shins. Arms can come out in front. And then we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Take the shoulders back and down. Flexing through the toes in Dandasana with arms overhead. And then slowly bring your arms down. Okay, so we're going to do a series of boat pose. If you have a couch nearby or a chair, really anything is going to work. Let me let me demonstrate first, okay? It just makes it kind of nice. So we're going to come into boat. We're going to take the strap around our feet. We're going to take our feet up on a strap or on your couch or a chair. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. Lift the chest, flex through the toes. All right, so yeah, if you don't have a chair handy, we're going to go into full boat pose later, but this is just kind of to get us in the position with a little bit of support. So this is a modified boat pose, right? So we're lifting the chest. So still we're in that pose, right? We're lifting the chest, we're drawing the shoulders back. This helps keep our legs straighter, right? And this is always available to you, especially while you're home, right? You've got some props, some support. One more breath. And then we'll release. You can take a breath here. All right, so now we're gonna try that without the chair. You can use the chair, you know how to use it, it's right there if you have one. Otherwise, we're gonna sit up tall and we're gonna take our legs out and we've got the strap here. So same idea, just without our legs on the chair. A little bit more challenging, right? Keep the chest lifted. Maybe you can even take your feet a little bit farther apart. Keep the chest lifted. Nice deep breaths. And then bend the knees. Place the feet down. You can just take your hands back, kind of windshield wiper your legs from side to side. All right, now we can try that any way you want. You can use the chair again, you can use just the strap, or we can try to go into the full pose. Start with your hands behind your knees. We lean back, keep the chest lifted. Elbows are straight. And then we can pick our legs up. We've got some support right here. Keep the chest lifted. If you want, you can extend the arms, maybe straighten your legs a little bit more. You may feel a little shaky here. I definitely do. So it might mean you need to keep your hands behind your knees. We're going to do this again, so just do what you can do this first time. Breathe here, keep the chest lifted, try not to fall back. One more breath. And then place your feet down. Take a breath. All right. You can windshield wiper your legs. Lift the chest. All right, last time. Any way you want to do it. You don't even have to do it at all if you don't want. Hands behind your knees, lean back, lift the chest. Maybe just stay right here. You're going to feel that, right? You feel the abs engage, or pick your feet up, support. Here, keep the chest lifted. Maybe stay here. This is challenging, or you can extend your arms. A little bit more challenging here, quite a bit more challenging with your arms extended. Let's take 2 more breaths if you can. And then place the feet down, hug it in. Take your hands behind you, just rock your knees from side to side. All right, let's lie down and back onto our backs. Hug the knees in. And rock again from side to side. Now roll over to one side. Let's come up to a seated position. And you can go lengthwise on your mat. We're going to take our legs wide. If you want, you can sit up on a blanket. Flex the toes up towards your shins. Hands by your side, just kind of like we were into Dandasana. We're lifting the chest. And then we're going to walk our hands out toward the front. And this is where maybe you'll want a block or a blanket or a pillow. You can walk your hands out as far as they'll go. Maybe you can bring your forearms on a support, on a block. Flex the toes up toward your shins. Walk your fingers out. One more breath. And then walk your hands back. Remove all your blocks, bring your feet back together. And we'll have a seat and come back onto our backs. So get your strap again. We're going to take the strap just like we did. We're going to take the heels up over our hips, hold on to the strap. And this time we're going to take our feet wide. So we're just in this pose. That's a little bit more supported, right? We're on our backs. Lift the chest, flex your toes. Breathe here. And then just release the strap, hug your knees in. All right, let's take our right knee over our left. Hug your knees in. And if this feels okay, maybe you can take your hands down to your ankles, kind of pull the ankles apart, flex your feet. And then just take your knees slightly over to the left. Keep the chest lifted. And release, switch sides. Left knee will come over the right. Hug the knees in. And again, if this feels easy, maybe you can reach down and get your ankles. Pull your ankles apart. And we'll take the knees slightly over to the left. Flex the feet. And then bring your knees back up, uncross. Let's place our feet down. Let's take the right ankle over the left knee. Right ankle over the left knee. You can gently press your right leg away or pick up the left foot, slide your right hand through and clasp behind your left thigh. And then you can draw your left knee towards your nose for figure four. All right, let's uncross. And we'll switch sides. So place both feet back on the mat. Left ankle over the right. You can gently press your left leg away. Or you can pick up the right foot, slide your left hand through, place your clasp around your right thigh. Flex both feet, we'll draw the right knee toward our nose. And maybe use that left elbow to press the left leg away. You can maybe slightly take your knees over to the right. And then bring your knees back up, uncross. Let's place our feet down onto the mat. I'm going to clear out anything you have on each side of you. Take our arms out to the sides. Pick up your hips, move them over to the right, and cross your right knee over your left. Then we'll take our knees over to the left for a twist. You can maybe take your left hand onto your right thigh, pick up your left shoulder to get the right shoulder down. The gaze can be over your right hand, maybe up at the ceiling, or even over toward the left. And then we'll bring the knees up, uncross. Take the hips over to the left. Cross the left over the right. We'll take the knees over toward the right. Again, your gaze can be anywhere that feels good in your neck. You can look over your left hand, just maybe look straight up, or even just look over to the right. Bring your knees up, uncross. Take your legs long and hug your right knee up. Clasp around your right knee. We're going to take it over toward the right shoulder. So try to get it off the belly. We're just going to press down, press the knee down toward our right shoulder as we press to the left leg. So really squeezing down, even feeling a little bit of a pinch in the right hip flexor. Just hold it here. Squeeze it down. And then release. And just let that leg go long. Other side, left knee is going to come up. We're going to take it over toward the left shoulder. Clasp around the shin and press down hard. And take your tailbone toward the floor. So you feel that pinch in your psoas, right in that hip flexor. It's releasing the hips. And then release. Take that leg long. And then we're going to slide the left foot over to the left. And it might even come off of your mat. And we'll make our adjustments from here. So then we're going to take our right ankle and cross it over the left ankle. So that's where you're going to adjust. We're trying to get this stretch over here on the right side. Arms will come overhead. And then we're going to take our hands, our arms over to the left as well and do this crescent shape. You can hook your thumbs here. So that target area is this whole right side, right? We're getting into the QL, the whole side body. Banana asana, we call it in yin. And then come back to center. Uncross your feet. Take a breath here. All right, other side. So we're going to slide the right foot over. We'll take the left ankle on the right foot. So again, you kind of play around with that till you get, it is accessible for you to get this stretch on the left side. Arms overhead, and we're going to take our arms over to the right. So this crescent shape. You can hook your thumbs. Press through your fingertips. Nice stretch through the side. And then come on back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Take your forehead up to your knees. Give yourself a big hug. And then we're going to find Shavasana. So if you did use a chair today, you have one handy. You can place your legs up on your chair. We do this a lot in here. It's up to you. But you're home and you probably have the props here. So we can take our legs up onto our chair. Have your head in a blanket. Maybe even cover up with a blanket or put your sweatshirt back on or put some socks on. So this is option one. It's a nice way to release the low back. Or you can go up to a wall and take your legs up a wall. Other option, place your feet down on your mat and touch your knees together like we started the class. Especially if you have active back pain, this is a nice way to release that. Or you can roll up a blanket, take your legs long and place a blanket underneath your knees. Anything that is going to make you feel super comfortable. Comfort is queen or king in our Shavasana pose, right? So we want to make sure that we're not struggling. We want this to be a nice, comfortable pose for us. So once you're in your chosen pose, let's scan our bodies. Scan to see if there's anything else you're holding on to. Send your breath there. And then see if you can just let that go. Relax your toes. Relax your fingers. Relax your jaw, your temples, your forehead, your entire breath, your entire body release. No longer focusing on any of that. Just let your body melt into the earth beneath you. And I will ring the chimes 3 times when it's time to come out of your Shavasana. You can begin to awaken your body. Start to bring movement into your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath. Maybe reach your arms overhead, get a big stretch. Make your way over to one side. Stay there for a breath. And at your own pace, come up to a comfortable seated position. And just sit here with your eyes closed. Just notice the effects of your practice. How are you feeling? We connected with our inner strength, right? Building our core, awareness of our core strength. How are you feeling since you got on your mat this morning? Are you feeling just even more open or even more peaceful? So take your hands to your heart center. Today we're going to chant one Om together. I know we haven't done this in a long time, but this is part of our whole Metta Moment series. And Om is basically the sound of the universe. So when we chant Om together, even though we can't hear each other, right? We're in separate rooms. We are symbolically and physically tuning into the sound and acknowledging our connection to all living beings, nature, and the universe. That's kind of a great way of, bringing loving kindness into the world. So let's take a breath in and let that go. And of course, you're in your own home. You can do whatever you want here. Let's take a breath in. Thank you so much for being here today, for joining us. I love seeing all of you every week. Have a beautiful week. I'm here next week. Namaste. You get to unmute yourselves. Thanks, everyone. Donna, it was so good to see you. Come back. Will you be back? Is this a bad time for you on Saturdays? You can unmute yourself. Can I unmute everyone?
It seems to work.
Oh, great, Karen. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. It's great to see you. Great to see you. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm here next week. The following week, I won't be here. I have to tell Shanna that. The 13th. But like I said, there's at least probably 25, 30 videos on my YouTube channel that, and I'll put this one on there. Oh, I'm going to stop recording.